What is up, everybody? It has been a dang minute since I've unboxed some new vinyl records for the channel. And today I'm not only going to be unboxing an LP of my most highly awaited album of this year to make its way onto vinyl, but I will also be showing you some of the most beautiful vinyl record variants, effects, and color treatments I've honestly ever seen. If this is your first time here at the channel and you love exploring all sorts of fascinating music, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you do not miss a future upload. Without further ado, let's begin diving into everything we have here today. So we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of releases from the legendary 100% Electronica record label, an online label that specializes in all sorts of electronic music, and a label that has seen some amazing growth over the years, with artists now headlining tours and sold out merch happening left and right. They sent me a whole bunch of records to unbox for the channel and add to my collection, so a big shout out to them. Many of these are limited edition pressings as well and would be a great addition to anyone's record collection, especially if you are into cool looking pressings, gatefold packaging jam-packed with awesome artwork. We even have some flexi discs here, which are super interesting. We'll get into all of it, so sit back and get comfy as we explore some of these records. First up, we're going to be taking a look at one of the prettiest vinyl records I have ever seen. We're getting right into the good stuff. This pressing of FM Skyline's Lightwear, a 2020 synthy, hazy, hypnagogic collection of tracks that has found its home on a limited edition holographic foil LP with a run of 300 copies only. Wordless synthetic pop songs singing out to humanity from the confines of video game consoles, 3D animation soundtracks, and keyboard demos from another time. The album plays with all sorts of fun MIDI instruments, from smoky flutes to warping synths. It's exactly what you think the album cover would sound like if it could make a sound. Just these science textbook cover computer-generated metallic orbs bouncing into all sorts of opaque or translucent shapes, all brought to life through 11 catchy tracks. The vinyl jacket artwork features this metallic reflective treatment on the border of the artwork, as well as on the backside laid behind the track list and some more 3D rendered imagery. And the vinyl itself is just amazing. Look at this thing. I love the splatter effect laid out on top of a transparent see-through vinyl record, and the blue, yellow, pink color combination just looks like a straight up candy shop. Lightwear is home to some classic FM Skyline tracks like Marble Madness, and my personal favorite, Paradise Neon, the intro track and shortest track of the entire project. Yet it's just this perfect, like, sludgy, synthy concoction of sounds that FM Skyline has gradually become a master at. You know, just putting these sounds together over the years. If you're a fan of that old CD-ROM aesthetic, definitely give this thing a listen. And check out the vinyl itself. As of the making of this video, it says there's only 40 left in stock, so don't sleep on something like this if this musical style is your type of vibe. Next up, we have the limited edition Equip Live in LA LP, which is currently available as a pre-order online as a limited edition 500 copies only orange LP. But here I was sent a really cool indie store exclusive neon yellow LP. The Chicago-based producer Equip was always known for blending video game sounds with vaporwave tropes, but nowadays has really found a fun and energetic Y2K inspired style that I really think developed from the energy he has found in his live sets, and it all just seems to bleed perfectly into these tracks. There are a whole bunch of club rock and remixes on here that fits perfectly with the Y2K typography found throughout the back of the cover and inner stickers of the vinyl, and the artwork is just so dope. I do not have a lot of live performances on vinyl. One of the first ones I can think of that I do have in my collection is the Cat System Corp Live in LA vinyl that I actually talked about on my channel a while back. Yeah, it's always fun to see how they mix live sets onto the vinyl medium, so I welcome this record into my collection with open arms. Like I've said, it's really fun seeing Equip take on a more rave-like approach with his music as of late, and I've loved watching artists over the years just try different sounds and moods with their work despite always being labeled as like a vaporwave artist per se. Equip Live in LA showcases a more bombastic and heavy side of Equip, and it works really well. There is a really cool quote on the write-up for the release where he says, "It's boring making the same stuff over and over. Things start to stagnate if I get comfortable with the same formula. I'm a music fiend. I love the challenge of working outside the vaporwave genre I've been pigeonholed into." Next up, it's finally here, the all-new album, or we can just say magnum opus at this point, from Death's Dynamic Shroud, Dark Life. This album was my most highly awaited album of the year, bar none. I was talking to James Webster, one of the 3 members of Death's Dynamic Shroud, during the album's creation process, and it was so obvious to see how much this album meant to the trio. Years and years of each of them creating countless albums, mixtapes, solo projects, working together on Death's Dynamic Shroud albums, or working solo, or working with one member, whatever it was. And this is just the combination of all of that in one final form. Death's Dynamic Shroud was known for their glitchy, choppy style of electronic music production that took on different personalities throughout their various albums and mixtapes, but Dark Life is just a whole nother beast entirely. This variant of the album comes on a double LP limited edition black and white Galaxy vinyl, which they did mention wasn't really on par with the pre-order mock-ups you can see on the site. Here it almost feels like there are 2 totally different variants completely. Regardless of how it actually comes out, it still finds a way to look good for me. I don't know, especially when the rest of the packaging just makes up for it anyways. The gatefold LP features some incredibly vivid artwork to represent the 3 members of the group, and Dark Life also comes with an art book as well. This thing is jam-packed with visual material that further pushes the powerful, machine-like attitudes of sound that Death's Dynamic Shroud is known for, and bottom line, it is just so cool to finally have the brand new Death's Dynamic Shroud album on vinyl. Dark Life sees all 3 members of Death's Dynamic Shroud reunite for the first time in years to make an album together at the same time. Throughout the years, we've gotten various pairings of members of the group that conjured up releases alongside a hefty handful of monthly mixtapes as well, but you really feel the true energy and passion of these creators when they come together to work on something like this. Dark Life is a true crossroads for the trio. Fans of them, including myself obviously, can just sense that something is in the air these days with Death's Dynamic Shroud, and that they are ready to progress further into their growth as artists. It's been amazing watching their journey. Each of the members are incredible people I look up to, who I'm really happy to call my friends as well. And all 15 songs of this, I'm gonna say it, masterpiece, are brought to life wonderfully through 2 LPs. I guess it's a bummer that the records themselves don't exactly match the mock-ups in regards to the pressing color itself. It sounds amazing too, which is always the most important thing anyway, so we're covered there. Unfortunately, and without surprise, Dark Life is completely sold out for the black and white Galaxy vinyl, as well as the original white vinyl double LP it was released on when the records were first announced at 100% Electronica. Before we continue on to what may be the most beautiful record I've ever seen, a cool little extra in the box here is a cassette. I don't really talk too much about cassettes on here, but we also have an unreleased and rare Volume 1 Esprit cassette, which seems to be another exclusive for the label in regards to getting one. They sent over some trading cards. Here I got my dude Adam Kane, for those who know, a 100% Electronica legend. We also have some really cool flexi disc, and I've never owned one of these before, so thank you 100% Electronica for sending me some of these. Flexi discs are these little records made of a really thin, flexible sheet that are actually a solid choice to produce right now with how crazy long actual vinyl production is taking, also with how expensive it's become these days. So I think these little musical trinkets are a cool little alternative that more labels should look into producing if they are in need of getting some more physicals out in between vinyl production. I think you're supposed to take them out of the square they come in. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I'm even playing this right. I've never owned one of these, like I said, but I don't know. It's really cool dropping the needle on it. You don't think it's going to actually play because it's so thin. Once you drop the needle on it, it plays. Here we have a George Clanton one, a Negative Gemini one, and an FM Skyline one. But here we go. Here it is. This is just amazing. We're going back to Death's Dynamic Shroud with I'll Try Living Like This, what I think we can all agree is their most influential and recognized album to date. I actually own the first ever vinyl pressing of this album from all the way back on Quiet Earth Records, if anyone remembers that. And there have been so many more 100% Electronica pressings of this album since that initial release. But this one specifically that they have sent me has got to be the best one yet. Here we have, this is a long one, this is a long name here. Here we have the I'll Try Living Like This double LP Masterpiece Edition on limited edition 180 gram Stargate Splatter vinyl. Let me say that again. The I'll Try Living Like This double LP Masterpiece Edition on limited edition 180 gram Stargate Splatter vinyl. That is a mouthful right there. 500 copies only run with about 26 left in stock on the site as of the making of this video. Once again, I don't know. By the time this video goes up, it could be out. I have no idea, but this thing is just the ultimate Death's Dynamic Shroud care package in a box. It comes with an incredibly lush and colorful gatefold, a trippy 8-page art booklet, and the records themselves. This album, for those who have heard it before, this is legit what the album sounds like in the form of a vinyl record, like the colors and the effect. It's just those iconic colors from the artwork brought to life over onto the record never looked so good. And also, the big thing with this one, this version of I'll Try Living Like This also contains 4 vinyl-only bonus tracks not included in previous editions. It is the ultimate way to experience one of the group's greatest albums ever, and has inspired me to throw this album on again. It's been a while since I've listened to I'll Try Living Like This, but I'm ready to get lost in its wicked sample chopping once again. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Mirror Kisses Kids Garden split of Dance Decree and Lighthearted on a limited edition 12-inch 10-year anniversary rainbow foil edition LP. The black and white half-and-half version you are seeing here is only part of a 250 copies run. Originally released all the way back in November of 2011, this split is the perfect release for those who want to dive a bit more into George Clanton's musical past, being the one behind both the Mirror Kisses and Kids Garden projects. This release includes the same rare photo insert that was present on the original pressing, and the foil treatment done for the jacket has this rainbow shine effect that shimmers when reflecting it against the light, and it looks awesome. It's really hard to pick up how strong this effect actually is on video. I think some of the pictures showcase the effect with a bit more justice. And as someone who has listened to more of Clanton's later work, like Slide, for example, it's so interesting to see how much of George Clanton's current style and vibe was present all the way back in these earlier works. Mirror Kisses showcasing his love for that 80s synthy pop vibe, and Kids Garden being a bit more chilled and laid back with washy guitars for a more shoegazy journey. A big shout out to 100% Electronica for once again sending me a package with all of these amazing releases. Each one is so different from the other, and they really seem to be meticulous in choosing different looking variants that stand out from one another on their catalog. Each release is unique in its own way and has packaging that tells their stories wonderfully. Definitely check out their shop. As you can see, many of these are pressed at super limited runs, and many of them barely have any inventory left. So show some love for some great musicians and check out all of the awesome stuff they have on the shop. I own a ton of 100% Electronica releases, and they are great every time. Always stellar stuff. For more vinyl related videos, check out this video for some of the weirdest records I own in my collection, or this video that showcases the beautiful Towers cassette tape, and I'll see you over there. Until next time, thank you for watching and spending some time with me today. Much love, your boy, Pat Chennington.